I'll be presently discussing my updated Game Facts post about discontinuing one-on-ones to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege at this time. I did have something here that I was going to write for Reddit, but I went on ahead and continued to write here. And promptly as of July 27, 2019, I'm going to be discontinuing my Reddit account since it's honestly a waste of time. I'd rather just continue talking out here for what it's worth, since I know and I'm more familiar with Game Facts than anything else, so I'd rather stick with the latter. I decided that as a Phantom Sight seasonal engagement, I'll be no longer seeking out friendly competitive one-on-one sessions online within the community of Rainbow Six Siege, for both YouTube and overall at the moment. This is an update to a past post I made about a little over a year ago regarding wanting to have great matches with people across the Rainbow community all over the world, so long as they aren't selfish or conceited or prideful individuals about being good or talented at the video game. I see that I am not really paid mind to in a selfless and open request here if I'm not anybody important or famous or apparently relevant to Rainbow Six Siege, even though I've been playing this game for a little over 2 years now. I don't seek to have any glory or ego or feel like I can or need to flex or flaunt my skills, showing that I'm better than a whole lot of people publicly when I'm actually not that good like that. And I never have been, nor do I carry myself with that type of weight or premise. I do well for myself for a moderate player, but I don't go overboard nor feel that I should have to or want to. My reason for doing and having one-on-ones done, and having done one-on-ones for so long for this game, was because of my interest for wanting to learn what I can about the video game experience and inner workings regarding map knowledge to prosper from without any toxic setbacks on my own accord, as well as with friends for general team success. And by toxic setbacks, since that can mean a variety of different things, I mean being around friends or people that are highly negative to the video game or to each experience that the video game gives you or the community itself, and taking everything too far unnecessarily, or they just don't know how to fucking act, period. Unless it goes their way. A bunch of selfish fucks. I do one-on-ones occasionally in games that can support the competitive trade because it's a part of how I like to personally improve with my individual gun game, expertise, and acknowledgement of things in the video game. Improving awareness of my general surroundings, creative a lot of constructive tactics using said elements in the environment that I otherwise was not aware of, or I had to look up in a YouTuber's tips and tricks videos rather than figuring out for myself, which you don't find up until way later on down the road. I don't do that crap. I don't like looking up a lot of tactics because it takes away from the creativity of finding them out yourself or trying to creatively expand on them in your own ideal without somebody criticizing you, saying, hey, you took that idea from somebody else. Not like it's going to stop them from doing their shit anyway, because the community can be that ignorant at times. Anyway, I mainly struggle to figure them out myself through a lot of trial and error, and so I can remember them more smoothly during bigger matches later on down the road, and so I'll stick to composing team tactics for now that are out of activity. I stated my piece to fellow R6 players as to why I support the one-on-one trade across video games in a non-biased positive outlook, especially the team-based games, as the options are more and almost always smoothly available to delve into. There's more views than that, between views being that this is immature for this platform to house one-on-ones, or a contest of higher sensitivity, or it being a vehicle to act like toxic noobs, the works. Even the view of living in your parents' basement that somehow gives you an edge over others. I'll weigh in here briefly since my reasons for seeking 1v1s on Rainbow Six Siege was vaguely called into question as if I have to prove something. This elaboration is to revise my assessment and the responses towards me and not so much about my social media game posting on GameFacts.com. That's already a debatable disposition where lots of people will seek to prove me wrong, that nothing positive comes from 1v1s when honestly I feel that they are all incorrect in their assessments. I feel that they're wrong. If any of you out there wish to weigh in on this, by all means, you know where to reach me on GameFacts.com. That's XRodimusPrime86, Elite Standing in Gaming, just as it reads here on my prompt for www.gamefacts.com. For this platform, 1v1s to me have no point relevant to pride, egotism, or vanity, or even showboating for that case. It's about developing constantly shifting strategies, using different operators besides the ones you generally use if someone else takes your pick in a competitive setting, and being better accustomed to rotating teammates, if not already with a preset or predetermined team beforehand. Granted, yeah, the premise of a standard 1 versus 1 private match setting is usually to prove a point about something being challenged or misguided or misconstrued or even taken out of context, be it words exchanged or lesson learned. But I do this differently. I feel personally that I was able to change the perspective of how to feel about just doing ordinary one-on-one private sessions. Not to sound smug or self-conceited or self-centered about it, but I've been doing one-on-ones professionally, semi-professionally, for a little over 3, almost 4 years now. So I can comfortably say that I know what I'm talking about in the field of 1 versus 1 in private sessions, respectively. Terrorist Hunt, while is able to work in being more accustomed to a numbers game, I find doesn't work in the long term of things because, first of all, it's very boring because they're all robots, not other players or other human beings, and 2, they don't have any consistent independent thought process. That's counter-argument 1 about Terrorist Hunt as opposed to 1v1s. Counter-argument 2, if you're regarding about immaturity or vehicle and acting like a toxic noob, that is also not the case here. Why flaunt the fact that I or somebody can flex sometimes when the guy right after me can likely do it faster than me anyways? The objective of the contest isn't for self-worth, but it's for self-improvement. On top of that, players are not consistently amazing, as they're down points throughout many gamers' play sessions where they occasionally underperform due to fatigue, lack of consistency, or general inattention. And this can be said for any online game where a person can potentially have many hours given to its general natural progress. But I won't argue. Seeing as most of the online verse is against the idea of wanting a player to exhibit or continue performing open one-on-one games as they apparently have no value or open merit, and that's to be made clear, then very well, you win, Rainbow Six Siege community. I enjoyed the matches that I have had, and I thank you very much for helping me to improve on what I need to work on more. Instead, this time will now be to just adjust to team building and better tactical assessment around other players as well as myself. This is going to be a lot of trial and error given, so I'll seek to mix it up every now and again. I'll see you when I see you. Y'all have a blessed one.
Down at the hatch, left side of the hatch, 1. Tied.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move.
Reload! So it's 2 primaries, I'm gonna drop the hatch, I gotta go. What the fuck? You almost had that!
God damn it.
You almost had that because you down the dock and got back up.
Oh, the fucking doc re-challenged.
That was good, Rod. That was good. I can't take that from you.